The Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria had their annual public lecture themed External Reserve Dynamics and Governance Challenges. In attendance, Professor Bongo Adi, the faculty member, Lagos Business School, Mr. Rufai Khalid, ACIS, GM, Digitation Property and Environmental Law Department, NNPC.
You this afternoon. This is my first interaction with Icsan. I'm a member of ICANN's continuing education program, and I facilitate several of their public sector engagements as well. I've also been a guest speaker to the Nigerian Institute of Management corporate programs, as well as moderating some of their sessions. Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry as well. I've always interacted with them. Yeah, I'm also a member of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group. I belong to several committees there. But this is the first time I've come to Icsan, and yeah, the topic is very interesting. Well, I think we are living in very... I said at the beginning of this year that I will not say anything negative about the economy. So because of that, I've stopped making media appearances. They keep, pestering me on a daily basis, the newspapers, the TVs. But I said I will not show up, so that I will not say anything negative, because I believe there is power in words. I think it's about time we begin to project more positive, thoughts and thinking about the Nigerian economy, because there is power in positivity. It has its own power, to make things turn around. We are at that point where things must turn around. Otherwise, I really do not know what we can hope for. Today's topic is very interesting, like I said, external reserve dynamics and the challenges of governance. From the way the president, pitched it or framed it, it will appear like, we're going to critique the government, the way they're managing the external reserve. But for me, I would say that, better management will actually be to grow that reserve. It's not about managing it. We don't have anything. That's the truth. I wouldn't go to explain. Let me start from the last, actually. I will go in reverse order. Let me share with you some pictures, some charts. Economists, data person, so we can never do without graphs and charts and all of that. So I hope that you can, you follow me. Okay, so I want to start with the last pages. Okay, let me start from this one. Yeah, so if you look at that, you will see the key drivers of the Nigerian economy. I don't know if you can see that graph clearly. So you will begin to observe the economic transmission path. What you recognize there is that there are four major drivers, the key drivers of our economy. The first one is the capital flow. So what do we mean by capital flow? The monies, the funds, the capital. Investment is the businesses, the firms that foreigners come to establish in our country, operate them, which create jobs, reduce unemployment, and of course, enhance productivity and competitiveness. Portfolio investment is just for treasure hunters, those bargain hunters who are only interested in the benefits that will come from equities and the capital market. So they put their money in the capital market. Once there is any perception of risk, they are very fast to withdraw and run away. That is very volatile and causes a whole lot of problem for any economy. But we have had a lot of that. Foreign direct investment has dwindled significantly. Some states have not managed to attract any single investment in the past 2 years in Nigeria. And as a country, we used to be the prime destination for foreign direct investment some years back, but that's no longer the case. You don't blame investors and you don't blame capital. Capital, as we say, is a coward. the level of insecurity in Nigeria cannot incentivize any investor to come in here. So what we have is the investment of the portfolio type, which is very volatile. It's not something you can bank on. Then the other one is, of course, trade. So I'm trying to build up, what we mean by external reserve. Okay, inflows, capital inflow into the economy. It can come from our exports. Okay, trade. When we trade, we are an open economy. We trade with the rest of the world. So when we sell the only thing we sell these days is oil. So when we market our oil to the rest of the world, the proceeds come in. That is what determines our trade balance, or what you call the current account, or primary income balance, as economists will regard it. The primary income balance, which is just the difference between the export and the import. Okay, for some years now, we also have deficit, current account deficit, meaning that import is more than export. That is a huge burden on the external reserve. So, you may say those guys at CBN, they're not managing it well. But then remember that everything we are wearing, most of them are not made in Nigeria right now. So that is a drain. That puts pressure on that external reserve. Because if we are not able to export enough goods or services, to compensate for what we have paid, that means we are in deficit, right? There will be a drawdown on our external reserve. I hope you're understanding that. So it is not just about government, it's actually about us, about the private firms in the system, the competitiveness of the economy. The challenge we have today is the challenge of, competitiveness has zeroed out. That is a fact. Into economic structures. The first one, C, consumption, is household, you and I. That is a structure or a sector of the economy. Then I is investment. Investment is for firms, companies. Okay? So they are the ones that if you are an SME, you are an investment, you are an investor. That's an investment in the economy. So that's a sector. Then you have the government sector or the public sector. Consumption, investment, government, and then the last one, the fourth one, is the difference between export and import, which is the outward looking one. That we call it the external sector or the foreign sector. The foreign sector. If you look at the first chart, that first graph where we showed the four drivers of the economic dynamics: capital flow, trade, diaspora remittances, policies. Okay, if you relate it to that, what we see is that the external sector is the most important. It's the most important sector in every economy, not just Nigerian economy. The external sector, because that is where, when you talk about foreign exchange, that's where it comes from. When you talk about external reserve, that is where it comes from. Now, how do we build that external reserve? That's a challenge. We do not grow an economy based on consumption. No. Your consumption, if you look at the growth in our GDP, most of it is actually consumption driven, which means it is a nominal thing. It is not adding much value. Either that or government. Yeah, no problem with government. Government can invest in infrastructure and public goods and services. That's fine. But the key things that will create sustainable long-term growth is what? Investment and the external sector. Investment and the external sector. That is firms that are able to produce goods and services they can export. Goods and services that are exportable, export orientation. If we do not create an export-oriented economy, we are in big trouble. We are in big trouble. Gone are the days of import substitution. The only reason why we had $69 billion external reserve in 2007, 2008 is because oil price went up. Our production was also.
Mr. Taiwo Benga Owokalade, FCIS, the 28th president and the chairman of Governing Council, launches the journal and the seal of stamp of the institute.
This journal is a compilation of materials well researched and meant for people to now take and then go back and look through and then be able to keep using to advance the course of knowledge. It's a pleasure to see that at this occasion that we're having, we call it 3-in-1. Just finished with an aspect of the public lecture. We're going to do a book launch, a journal launch, and then the seal and the stamp of the institute. So, to the cause of humanity and nation building, the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, the Governance Institute, I, the 28th president of the institute, and the chairman and council, hereby unveil this journal for the usage of humanity. Thank you, sir. Please share it so that all of us can. Thousands. Just make sure that when you are stepping out, you get a copy of this journal. I think it's just 2,000, not even enough to buy a data to our phone. So just take one when you are going and ensure that you are part and parcel of this. This probably might just be your beginning to be a member of this institute. For the reference. Prof, this is a day of grace. Lagos Business School should find a means of ensuring that if you don't have a relationship with us, then you need to ask yourself, what other body? So I am. It's not a Greek gift, but it's a commitment for you to say, oh, when they were unveiling, so, yeah. That committee worked tirelessly towards ensuring that we get this. And then we also have the board of mentors. Many of them are online. Mentioning FCIS, who is also a member of the board of mentors. Otuba, please extend our great greetings to all of the other members of that board. They work so well towards getting this done.
Thank you for watching BMC TV. Please watch, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.